They said my uncle, Mr. Gabriel Chukudi, gave up the ghost. The man was not dead. He was playing dead. In fact, as they covered him with white bed sheets, the man was underneath, secretly smiling like rats that found abandoned suya. It all started because he attended one burial in our neighborhood the previous week, where people cried so loudly they almost woke the real dead man. They rolled on the floor, shouted like ambulance sirens, and even tried to enter the coffin to show solidarity. My uncle stood there, arms folded, analyzing the performance like Nollywood judge. He muttered. So if I die now, who will cry like this for me? That was the exact moment something shifted in his head. For days afterward, he went around the street casually asking people suspicious questions. If person die now, how much coffin they cost? If na me die, you go cry or you go just post RIP and move on. So he came up with Operation Dead But Watching. On that fateful morning, his neighbor Mama Esther heard loud thud inside his room, boah, like Asa laptop falling inside drum. She rushed in and found my uncle lying flat on the floor with tongue out like lizard near generator heat. She screamed, "Jesu! Gabi don't die!" But instead of confirming pulse, she ran outside to announce breaking news. Within 10 minutes, the entire compound had gathered like morning assembly. People were taking pictures, forwarding it on WhatsApp before even checking if the man was actually dead. One man shouted, "Somebody call ambulance." Another replied, "Ambulance too slow, call Uber." Someone else said, "Call pastor. No, call herbalist. We need all options." Meanwhile, under the white bed sheet, Uncle Gabriel was sweating and regretting why he didn't practice how dead body is supposed to breathe. He forgot and was inhaling with small whistle sound like person hiding inside nylon. But nobody noticed. They just accept and start planning burial before the corpse even gets cold. By 7:15 a.m., somebody had typed, "Repared. RIP to a legend. Mr. Gabriel Chukudi has left us. You were a good man. You always gave children biscuits. You will be missed. Share to 14 groups if you love him." Before 8 a.m., the hashtag Rest in Peace Power Gabi entered Facebook. Somebody edited his photo to black and white with flying dove at the corner. One girl who had rejected his love proposal 10 years ago wrote, "He was such a kind soul. I remember how he used to check on me every morning. I don't be an..." I screamed when I saw it. That girl blocked him on WhatsApp since 2015. If you are enjoying this gist, better subscribe now. Don't wait for me to fake my own death before you show love. Alright, let's continue. The mourners assembling. By 10 a.m., people were arriving at the compound like campaign rally. A woman rushed in crying. He was like a Ford Atomy. We asked, "Who are you?" She said, "I am his hairdresser's cousin's best friend's neighbor's neighbor." Another man appeared wearing dark shades, shaking his head slowly like actor in funeral scene. He whispered, "He owed me 8,500 naira, but I forgive him." That was when the biggest problem started, the family group chat explosion. Somebody had posted, "Sad news, Uncle Gabriel is dead." Immediately, chaos erupted. Auntie Kero UK, What? Uncle Jude South Africa, wait, is this April Fool? Auntie Beggy, Canada, are we sure? Who confirmed? Has doctor certified? I need proof. Then Uncle Gabriel's younger brother, who had been jealous of him since the 90s, replied, "Finally, God has done it." That one always liked trouble. The family decided to start making burial arrangements before even touching the body. They were arguing about casket color. Let it be gold. No, burgundy with silver handle. Me, I prefer lion engraving. Meanwhile, the dead body was still under bedsheet, listening to all of them like radio. The problem? He forgot to arrange his resurrection. By 11 a.m., they were planning to take him to mortuary. That was when Uncle Gabriel realized he didn't plan the second half of the mission. He wanted dramatic fake death, but how was he supposed to resurrect without embarrassment? He started panicking under the cloth. What if they carry him to cold room? What if mortuary attendants slap him to position his arm and he shouts, calm down now? Luckily for him, the compound gate was too narrow for ambulance, so the mourners decided to carry him manually on neighbor's mattress. As they lifted him, one man shouted, "This dead body too warm, oh." Another replied, "Grief hit, leave am." The first attempt to move. As they struggled down the stairs, Uncle Gabriel couldn't endure again. He mistakenly moved his leg. Mama Esther gasped, "He moved! Miracle!" Everyone shouted, "Praise the Lord!" But then one smart child asked, "If he moved, does that mean he is alive?" A woman slapped the child. "Don't talk nonsense. Spirit is adjusting." They strengthened grip and continued carrying. At this point, I knew if I didn't intervene, this man would soon resurrect by force. So I shouted dramatically, "Stop!" Everyone turned. "If this man is truly dead," I declared, "we must confirm with last test." They looked at me like I was doctor. "What is the test?" they asked. I walked close to the body, bent down, and whispered, "Uncle Gabi, if you don't wake up now, they will bury you in second-hand coffin from Alaba." Before I could straighten up, the man sat up like zombie and shouted, "Not my Port Harcourt body!" Everybody froze. Even the birds paused for their flight. Someone screamed, "Jesus!" and fainted. Another shouted, "He has risen!" A small boy dropped his gala and ran away barefoot. That was just the beginning, because now he had to explain to angry family members why he died without permission. If you are enjoying this madness, better subscribe now before Uncle Gabriel fake his death again. But the real drama happened when the family group chat saw the video. Yes, because one content creator neighbor had already started live streaming the resurrection on TikTok. Auntie Caro, UK. Wait, I thought he was dead? Cousin Somto, Lagos. He just shouted, "Not my Port Harcourt body," and stood up. Uncle Jude, South Africa. Are we sure he's not ghost using his MTN SIM? By noon, the entire family assembled in person like emergency board meeting. Nobody greeted him, "Welcome back." They all stood in semicircle like tribunal. Uncle Gabriel sat on a plastic chair, looking like child caught stealing chicken. Auntie Caro pointed at him. "Gabriel, are you normal? You faked your own death. For what?" He cleared his throat dramatically and said, "I was conducting emotional loyalty tests." Silence. Then Mama Peace, the loudest of them all, shouted, "Emotional loyalty, Ko! You almost gave me stroke." One cousin threw a bottle of water at him. Somebody else tried to flog him with broom. Trying to defend himself, he said with full chest, "But it worked. I now know who truly loves me." Some people didn't even cry well. Some posted my picture without adding heart emoji. Imagine. Auntie Becky screamed, "So because I used crying emoji instead of crying emoji, you think I don't care?" He nodded solemnly. "You could have added candle symbol, Abi." At that point, they almost strangled him. Breaking news. Before we continue, if you are still reading without subscribing, just know Uncle Gabriel is watching you. Hit subscribe now. Alright, let's resume. By evening, the story had reached Instablog. They titled it, "Lagos Man Pretends to Die, Resurrects Over Coffin Quality." Church WhatsApp groups began using him as prayer example. "Oh Lord, any spirit of premature resurrection, we cancel it." He tried to justify himself on Facebook Live. My uncle, instead of staying quiet, went online to explain himself. He wore white singlet and sat in front of ring lights like motivational speaker. "Some of you posted my picture without even adding filter. Is that how to honor the dead?" People were raging in the comments. One person wrote, "Shut up before we kill you for real." Family decides on punishment. They gathered again, this time with kin. The elder sister declared, "In this family, you cannot die and resurrect anyhow. There must be consequences." Someone suggested charging him burial expenses. Another said make him attend his own memorial service wearing "I am not dead" t-shirt. But the final decision came from Mama Nkem, the oldest. She said, "Since you want to test love, we will organize proper burial ceremony. But you must attend as ghost. No talking, no eating, no dancing. Just sit quietly and observe. Uncle Gabriel nodded solemnly. So I will be alive at my own burial reception. They replied in unison, yes. He smiled. That sounds interesting. Burial of a living man. Planning begins. Printed on the invitation, celebration of life, though technically still alive. They booked DJ. They arranged caterer. They printed 200 t-shirts with his face and the words, gone too far, but still present. People were confused. Now, what could possibly go wrong? Well, everything.
The day finally arrived. The burial of a man who refused to stay dead. The hall was decorated like a royal farewell, mixed with baby dedication. Gold balloons said, "Rest in peace." Again? A banner at the entrance read, "Goodbye to Gabriel, until further notice." Guests arrived in style. Some looked confused, some excited, some came just for jollof rice. At exactly 2:15 p.m., a slow-moving convoy arrived. Inside the middle car sat Uncle Gabriel, dressed in full ghost uniform. White kaftan, dark shades, holding walking stick like retired ancestor. The instructions were clear. He must not speak. He must not eat. He must behave like silent spirit attending his own farewell. He walked in dramatically. People screamed in fake fear, "Jesus! He came!" One woman fainted deliberately for attention. A small boy touched his shoulder to confirm if ghosts were warm. He took his reserved seat. A single plastic chair in the center of the hall, under spotlight, like VIP cups. Master of ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered to mourn and celebrate a man who is no longer with us, but also, technically, with us. First up was his landlord, who said Gabriel was a good tenant. He paid rent late, but he paid. I will miss his promises. Next was his ex-girlfriend from 2004, the same one that wrote long RIP message online. She walked to the mic and began crying aggressively. "Gabby, why did you leave me? We were supposed to grow old together, even though I married someone else and blocked you." The crowd clapped like audience of drama series. But the real highlight, his jealous younger brother took the stage. He cleared his throat. "Gabriel, you have died twice this year." During his brother's speech, someone mistakenly brought plate of steaming jollof rice too close to Uncle Gabriel. The aroma entered his nostrils and shook his soul. He tried to resist, but the rice was speaking tongues. He licked his lips, but temptation was too strong. When they started serving fried plantain, the ghost cracked. He slowly stretched his hand, picked one plantain, and bit it. The hall exploded. "He is eating! He is not a real spirit!" He swallowed plantain and said calmly, "At least, now I know who will cry and who will fry plantain at my next funeral." Silence. Then out of nowhere, Mama Peace burst out laughing. Then Auntie Caro joined. Soon, the entire hall was roaring with laughter. They cancelled the burial and turned it into Gabriel's welcome back to life party. DJ switched playlists from sorrowful violin to Zlatan. People started dancing with the ghost. Auntie Caro hugged him and said, "Next time you want to die, send Google Calendar reminder." Uncle Gabriel smiled proudly. "No problem. Season 2 coming soon." Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this madness, better subscribe now before Uncle Gabriel appears in your dream to ask, "If I die, will you cry or will you just like and scroll?"